Welcome to Charlotte's Wandering Web with your adventurous guide to the good times, Charlotte Tweed. Each week, Charlotte takes you on the journey of a lifetime to a delightful Caribbean locale where the sun never sets on your good life at a great price. And now with her muy amigo, Carib Carter, here's your host, Charlotte Tweed. Hello, hello, hello. It is Carib Carter Clues, and welcome to Charlotte's Wandering Web, okay? I know it's one of your favorite podcasts we do at Offshore Club because Charlotte takes us into the real offshore world, the real expat world. So, Charlotte, what is going on in the real world of expats this week? You're down in Mexico, and it looks beautiful, by the way. So there we go.
Yes. And they just pruned the palm tree behind me. I don't know if you can tell that or not, or if it's close enough.
Oh, yeah.
It's so interesting watching them do the gardening here because, I mean, we don't have palm trees in Canada, but they pulled out all the old dead stuff, and it kind of smells a little strange, almost like they put an oil or a protectant around it now.
Right.
It's, and then sawed off some branches so it has a haircut. And I find that fascinating because I liked gardening, so to watch them prune this tree, it's interesting.
Well, it's just gorgeous. Do you know what those red plants are behind you? Are they bougainvillea or whatever it's called?
No, that's not bougainvillea. That's these ones here.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're called. Yeah, but yeah, they're pretty.
Whatever they're called, they're beautiful, and you are so lucky to be there. So this week you did a lot of chit-chatting with fellow expats to get a feel for their feelings about living down there with you in Mexico, about the offshore life. Give us some of your experiences as day to day there.
Yeah, well, we went back to conversational Spanish because if you recall, the first time we went, there's a free class Wednesday nights at one of the restaurants here, and the first time we went, it went right over our head. So we decided to hire the instructor to come and do a few private lessons with us. And it helped. It was really good. She's a certified translator, very enthusiastic young lady. So we thought, okay, we worked with her for a month. Now let's go back to classes of conversational Spanish and see what that is like. So we went back to those. And it was much better this time than the first time we went. We felt
very nice.
A little bit past the see Dick run type of conversation. Still newbies. And there was two new ladies there last night. The one lady she was quite fascinating. She's actually Dutch. So she's lived in a few different countries. And it was interesting listening to her talk about her schooling and languages and that type of thing. Because in Europe, almost everybody there knows more than one language.
Okay.
So she said when she went to school, they had to learn English, German, French, Latin, and Greek.
Wow.
So her grasp of languages is pretty good. So now she's learning Spanish. And when the first time she left Netherlands, she went to live in Johannesburg. So she has spent a lot of time in South Africa. And she said she went to the country, absolutely fell in love with it. And then things started falling apart. I would say she was probably late 60s, early 70s, I would say.
Right.
So she then moved to Canada to live from South Africa. Her daughter is still in Calgary. And then last August, she saw how things were going to hell in a handbasket in Canada and said, I have to get out of this country, and bought herself a one-way ticket to somewhere she had never been before. And she ended up here.
Excellent. Now, how long ago was that? A year ago?
She said last August, so that just over a year she's been.
Just over a year.
Just over a year. Yeah.
So she has. How many countries has she lived in? 5 or 6?
Well, she's from the Netherlands, and then she lived in South Africa, and then from South Africa she went to Canada.
4.
Yeah, and now she's in Mexico. Yeah.
Did she by any chance do any kind of comparisons as to the lifestyle between those 4 countries?
For cost of living, she said in South Africa, it's it's a lot cheaper as well. She said real estate can be expensive. Of course, that would depend probably where you're buying it. But she
Right.
said cost of living, like food, and that is very comparable to here in Mexico.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. And how does she feel about Mexico? She's been there a year now. She's been there a year. How's her experience there?
She likes it. She likes it here. It's funny. She talked more about the other countries than she did about Mexico, and we were more fascinated in hearing about the other countries too, because well, we're all here now. It's
You know all about it. You're
yeah.
there. Yeah.
What was South Africa like? So
Yeah. Very, very. South Africa, it was a very beautiful country.
yeah.
It was a very, very beautiful country and very copacetic. I mean, now it is not would not be high on my priority list to move to, but
No, I haven't looked at moving to South Africa either. I can say that's not on my top
no,
list. So
that's definitely
I'd
not
love
on
to
my
visit.
list. I have to be honest with you. This may sound terrible, but there is no place in Africa that is on my list of places. There's just not. When I was a little kid, my dad was a Methodist minister. Now, this is a terrible confession, folks, but it's true. My dad was a Methodist minister, and there was a song that we'd sing, a hymn called "Where He Leads Me, I Will Follow." Where
Mm-hmm.
He leads me, I will follow. Honest to God. Now, as a little kid, I'm talking maybe 7 or 8 years old, I could not sing that song because I told my father, if he leads me to Africa, I'm not going. So it's just, but Mexico, definitely. Lead me there, God.
Yeah.
I'm there. Done.
He led me here. This is where we are now. He opened the doors. Have you been to Africa, Carter?
I have never been to Africa.
No. We have been to Africa. We've been to Morocco.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, and we've been to Egypt. So
that's right. That's Northern Africa, right?
Northern Africa,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Very interesting countries.
Yeah. I
wouldn't want to live there.
The only Arab country I've been to was, and some people are going to say it's not a country, and I don't want to get into the politics. With you, I don't mind getting to the politics, but I just want to say that Offshore Club members, don't write me and correct me because I am not going to argue with you one way or the other. But I've been to Palestine, okay,
Mm-hmm.
AKA the West Bank, right?
Yes.
And that is the only Arab country or Arab place, whatever you want to call it, that I've been to.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, Ramallah is, believe it or not, Ramallah in the West Bank or Palestine, depending upon your preference, is a very, very pretty city.
Yeah.
Very pretty city. Yeah. So, and it was very friendly and very nice.
Great to visit.
But back to Mexico.
No.
back to Mexico. So who else did we meet in this? I mean, now that you're in a Spanish class, you must be meeting a lot of expats who are there trying to learn the language with you.
Well, this class, she's had some really good turnouts. She showed us, and she was breaking them into beginner and advanced. But there was only 5 of us there last night, so which is okay. So it was a smaller turnout. The one gentleman, he's American, and he was there the first time that we went. Somebody showed up very late, like we were ready to close up and everything already. But there's another lady that we met. She's American as well, and she's lived here. It's like 12 or 13 years she's lived here now. And she had a very interesting story about her electricity. She wasn't at the conversational Spanish, but we met her at a retirement party that we were invited to. And she said when she moved here, she bought this old house, tore it down, built a brand new, beautiful home on it. I don't know how big it is. I have no idea. But she said when you build a new home on a property, you automatically inherit the utilities. They just go into your name. Like I don't know exactly in the States, you pick your provider, you go sign up and do all the things. Okay. She said here, the phone number, everything that's in that dirt where you built the house automatically gets transferred to your name. Good. So the house was built, she moved in, and everything was working fine. And Months went by and she still hadn't received an electric bill. She thought, well, I better go down to town hall or wherever she pays her electric bill and see what's going on, because it's been 6 months and I haven't received an electric bill. So she went down there, talked to the lady, took her address, everything, and said, I have not received an electric bill yet. So the lady behind the counter says, okay, let me check. Does her little typing on her computer, looks, and she's, oh, well, I can see why you don't have electricity. You have no power. And she goes, yes, I do. And the lady goes, well, how do you know that? Because the lights turn on. I have electricity. And she's, oh, okay, well, this is strange. Gets it all figured out. And okay, you should be good now. You'll get a bill next month. And the lady goes, well, what about the last 6 months? Don't worry about it. It's okay. Just, that's fine.
Are you serious? That is
Okay.
wonderful.
So she went home. Months go by again. Still no electric bill. Still no electric bill. So she went back again to the same office. Different person. Brings her, address, her title, everything. I have not received an electric bill. Like, it's been a year. Oh, okay. So open the computer again. Well, this is why you don't get a bill. You have no electricity. She goes, yes, I do. And they said, well, how do you know that? Because the lights come on. I have electricity. I've been living here for a year.
Wonderful. It's wonderful.
So the lady gets it all figured up. Okay, it should be good now. Just, well, what about paying it? You'll get a bill. You'll get a bill. That's okay. It's okay. Okay, so she goes home again. Still, a couple months go by, nothing. Then finally, 2 men knock on her door, and she opens it, and they're from the electric company. And she's, I've been expecting you. And they called her out, and they said, can you tell us which power your electricity comes from? Does it come from this pole, or does it come from this pole? And she's, I don't know. You tell me where my power comes from. Like, I don't know. I've been waiting for a bill. Nobody's sending me a bill. So then they're, oh, you have a very big power bill coming. If you don't come and pay it within a couple days, they're going to cut your power off immediately.
Oh, man.
She's, well, how much is my bill? And they said 52. It's a lot. 52,000 peso.
Now, how much is that in dollars?
Divide it by 20. And I think something was very, very wrong there, because that seems extremely high. And she's, okay, I'll come pay it. And they're, really? You're gonna pay it? She's, yes, I will come down and pay it. So she went down. They took her down to the office, and she went to pay her bill, and they came and took her into a back room because the bill was so high and she had to pay in cash. So she had to go, and they had to count all the bills through the bill machine. I think she was paying for the whole electricity, the whole neighborhood's bill, because my bill was 175 peso or something, and so that was $9. So if 52,000 peso, either she's got her air conditioning running 24/7, or they
it sounds to me like she was paying for the whole city.
I think so. So once she said they were going to pay it, they, I think, just quick hurried her down to the office, and
she paid it.
She paid it.
That's a fascinating story, because it really, one thing I think that our viewers have to understand is it no matter which country you move to down there, it is a different way of life. Don't expect the normal. You're not going to get it. And when I had my home in Vista Bonita in Honduras, the electric bill would be a piece of paper wadded up and stuck in my chain link fence. Right?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what if it rains? And they said, it washes away. There has to be a better way.
There has to be. I know, when we did that one house when we first got to Mexico, and their only request was that we paid their power bill. We were originally supposed to stay there for 6 months. It didn't work out. But we said, well, how do we pay the power bill? And they said, oh, every 2 months they just come and put the bill in the fence, just like you said, and you take the bill down and go pay it at the OXXO. Okay. That's what you do. You go pay it at the OXXO here in Mexico is very much like a 7-Eleven, a convenience store. You do everything at OXXO.
Oh,
Everything at OXXO. Yeah.
strange. I think in Honduras you pay it at the bank, if I recall, is where I went to pay it. Yeah. But at any rate, folks, you just got to understand it's different. It's just different. And I don't care how they do it as long as it's cheap. That's my
Exactly. Now the 52,000 peso, that was excessive. I said
that was
something was
excessive.
not right there. I think they picked the wrong pole for her because that's crazy. That's crazy.
I think they picked the pole that was serving the nearby soccer stadium is what happened.
So yeah, that's what, expect the unexpected, get comfortable being uncomfortable. It is a different life for sure.
It's a different life. It's a different life. So yeah, you get used to that. All right, give us one more expat story, because this is great. This really lets people know what real life is like. That's the beauty of Charlotte's Wandering Web. It's the real life. It's what you're going to live down there, which is fantastic.
It is. Yeah. Okay. Let me try and think. Those were the two I had in mind. Oh, you know, when you're put on the spot and your mind just kind of goes blank.
Oh yeah, happens to me all the time. Yeah.
Expat
Yeah.
stories. Okay, I have another one.
Okay.
So, this is from an American expat as well that we had met through church, and he's ex-military, so he served in the military, him and his wife, and they're down here, and they went to get hamburgers, and he ordered a hamburger, and he just wanted a hamburger, beef hamburger with cheese. Nothing else on it, just a cheeseburger. That's all I want. You know, sometimes you just want a ham and cheese, you want something plain. And they're
Right.
like, well, just cheese? Yes, just cheese. So he goes, I don't know what they put on it, but they obviously thought I was going to be missing out. They put on, the peppers, they put on the onions, they put everything on it. And the one burger that he got too, he ordered more than one burger for his family. And he said, it wasn't beef. I don't know what it was. Like, carne here is meat. So
meat, carne. Yeah.
he got jackrabbit.
No way.
A jackrabbit burger.
Are you serious? A jackrabbit burger.
Well, it's meat. You want meat? You get meat. This is the meat we have. We're out of beef. So if you want a beef burger, make sure if you're going to one of these, little obscure stands, it's res. R-E-S is beef in Spanish, not carne. I thought you used to think carne was beef. So you're going to get whatever meat they've got on the grill.
Oh, because carne is meat, period.
Carne is meat.
Did he happen to say how the jackrabbit tasted?
He didn't seem to. He was kind of, it's Mexico. You get what you get sometimes. He was okay with it.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful. Jackrabbit. I guess they're, if you go out in the woods, they can probably shoot one and bring it in. And I guess jackrabbit's a pretty good size. It's not like one of our little tiny rabbits here.
I want to say they can get to over 20 pounds. I think in Canada, they're big.
They are big.
Yeah. And rabbit's supposed to taste good. I haven't had rabbit. It's supposed to taste like chicken, I've heard. So probably tasted like a chicken burger.
The rabbit's very good. I like rabbit. Yeah. I used to eat when I was a kid. I haven't had it recently.
Oh,
back when we lived in the country, there was a guy who hunted, and he would bring my dad rabbits after he cleaned them. I mean, we didn't get them. So, well, this is excellent. This is nice slice of life. I tell people you're going to love Charlotte's Wandering Web because it's a slice of life. Mm-hmm. You really learn what it's really like, which is what our people want. So it's fantastic.
Yeah, and it's fun to talk to the other expats. Like you said, you hear their stories of things they go through, what happens to them when they go and buy a car, or everybody seems to have a different experience. Everybody has a different answer when you ask them a question, because it's Mexico.
It's Mexico.
It's Mexico.
It is great. Well, This has been wonderful. I appreciate it as usual. It's been delightful.
All right.
Absolutely. Let's plug the magazine one time before we leave, folks.
Alrighty.
It is excellent. This is an excellent magazine.
The Portugal edition.
Yes. And they can get it. Go to escapeartist.com and hit the subscribe button. It's the best.
If you have any interest in Europe, Portugal is an excellent place to look at for relocating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. And the magazine, it's a great edition of the magazine, and all the articles. So thank you, ma'am. This has been great.
Welcome.
I love it. And we'll do it again next week, folks. There you go. I love talking with Charlotte because it's real life. Okay. There's no pretense. There's no selling you on it. This is what you get. What you see is what you get. And folks, what you get is pretty darn good in these South and Central American countries. So as I tell you every week, let's do this thing.